Greetings, everyone. This is I'm Right.
I'm right.
And I'm Jill Cox Cordova.
I'm Anthony Cordova, the person.
Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Well, you're also the man. We're sitting here in our home office doing this recording, and I just got a new trophy. Shout out to Caverna High School, where I went to high school. And they gave me this beautiful...
Bravo. Giving back.
They gave me a beautiful trophy for... I'm in their Hall of Fame as a graduate. Yay. And they gave me a beautiful trophy, and they put a plaque with my picture on it in the hallway as you enter the school.
Did you take a picture of that? Because I haven't
seen it. But I didn't like it, so you haven't seen it.
Deleted the picture?
No, I still have it.
Can I see it?
No.
I'm your husband.
Well, how about this, husband? When you find my other trophies, what'd you do with my other trophies that were in this room? I worked hard on the other trophies.
What trophies?
I earned
I bet
trophies
you don't even know what
for
the trophies
walking.
were.
I absolutely know what they were for. I'm a fast walker, in case people don't know that about me unless they've actually walked with me. I'm a really fast walker, and I've earned trophies for my walking.
Yes. Well,
somehow they disappeared.
They have disappeared. They are not where you had them.
So what did you do with them?
I put them in safekeeping.
Do you actually remember where that is?
I remember they're in a box.
Do you know where the box is?
I remember they're in a box. And they're probably in this room, in our office.
Probably. So that means you don't know for sure.
I am 95% sure it's in our office where we're sitting right now. It's probably in the closet. But I took them down because where you had them, they were in danger of falling and breaking. So we didn't have a good spot for them. So because your trophies have fallen a couple of times. So I said, well, let me put this in a box where they won't get damaged. And then when we get another bookshelf, or I make another,
we can have a trophy case.
No.
You don't want to have a trophy case?
No.
Why? Because they're all my trophies?
No trophy case. Hey, I used to have a lot of trophies. I got rid of them, I think. I like
my trophies because these I've earned as an adult.
Oh, I have no trophies from being
I have two trophies on my desk.
Adult.
Well,
an adult.
This is not what... I do hope you find my trophies. Because I really worked hard to get them.
They're not lost. I put them in a box for safekeeping.
Okay. I hope you find the box.
Don't we have an episode to do?
Well, I was going to say this is not what this episode is about. This week's episode is about facing fears. It's part of a segment that we call Stand by Your Stance. I have no fears.
Yeah. Well,
That's not true. I do have fears.
I have fears. I just thought of a fear that I have, and I tell no one this. I tell no one this is.
You have a fear of big feet.
I don't have a fear of big feet. I don't have a fear of big feet. But I do have a fear, and probably many people have this fear, but I don't tell people this fear because of my paranoia.
Because tell me the fear.
This is the fear. I have a fear of being tortured.
Oh.
I have a fear of somebody taking a blowtorch and like burning me up to torture me to get some information out of me or something.
Information like what? Why would anyone do that to you?
I said it was my paranoia.
Well, why would anyone do that to you? Why is that a real fear?
I know where it came from.
Okay.
I know where it came from. So this fear is not logic based.
Okay.
And the reason why I didn't want to tell anybody, because if I tell them that's my fear, to be tortured,
then it's like a challenge.
Yeah, that's right. And somebody knows my weak spot, and then they'll try to torture me. Now,
where did it come
physically,
from?
Well, long ago. In the land much different than this one.
In a galaxy far away, dark and stormy night.
I went to the movie theater on a Saturday as a probably 12-year-old kid.
Okay.
Saturday matinee.
Okay.
People go to the movies.
Yes.
And there was a movie called The Mark of the Devil.
Oh.
And it was all about the Inquisition. So when they tortured people for being witches and all of that kind of stuff. So they were very graphic with the torture.
You were allowed to see this kind of movie at that age?
It wasn't rated R.
Really?
It was not rated R. And actually back then they only had they didn't have as many ratings as they do now.
That's true.
So today it would have like a PG-13 or something.
Oh, not even an R?
It might have an R. There was no nudity in it or anything.
Oh, but violence and that kind of stuff can be R.
There was torture. So they would show in detail, like they had these vices that they would put people's thumbs in.
Oh.
And they would squeeze it and squeeze it and squeeze it and try to get them to get them to say that they were a witch.
Right.
Until the thumb popped and all the blood squirted everywhere. And then they had another thing where they would pull people's tongues out. And they were very graphic with that also. Just all these different types of torture. And went home and had nightmares about all of this torture. So I don't want to be tortured. I don't think anybody wants to be tortured. I was going
to say no one wants to be.
But I don't want to be tortured unless you're a masseuse. I really like deep tissue.
Oh, not me. Not at all.
Deep
it's
tissue.
Like if it hurts, then massages. It's not. That's one reason I do not like massages.
I like it when they hit me with their elbow like they're a wrestler. Bam! And dig that elbow in.
No.
It's pain that feels good.
Nope. I don't like massages at all. I don't. I don't.
So we'll get into like other fears. So at a certain point in my life, I think I was maybe 28 or so. I didn't like that I had certain fears, phobias, kind of. So I decided I would try to overcome them. So I had a fear of amusement park rides that start out with a track, but then it drops you vertically where you can't see tracks in front of you.
Right.
I had a fear of that. So I said, you know what? I'm getting on that ride because I'm afraid of it because it doesn't have you can't see any tracks in front of you.
So you didn't develop the fear from having been on it.
No, just from seeing it. I wanted to see tracks in front of me.
Okay.
And so I did do that ride. And as I got on the ride, I was like, why did I do this? Why did I do this? I was vocalizing this. I didn't want to do it. I know I don't want to do this. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it.
But and there I did you were.
Yeah. And then after that, I did it again.
But the reason I don't like rides like that is that drop you feel in your stomach. I don't like that feeling.
I mean, I was okay with roller coasters and the drops on that, but one where I just needed to see the tracks.
Oh, okay.
So, but I overcame that fear. The other fear was a fear. I didn't have a complete fear of heights, but a little bit. So I jumped out of a plane.
I was there. I was there when you jumped out of a plane.
Absolutely.
And you know what?
Loved it.
You know what? Even though the gift was for you that day, I had given you a gift certificate because you told me that you've always wanted, that you wanted. You didn't say you always wanted, but that you wanted to go skydiving. So I gave you that gift certificate.
Thanks.
And I went with you. But before you can go up and do a skydive, you have to watch a video that tells you all the many reasons why they are not liable if something goes wrong. And it was watching that with you that I was like, oh my gosh, no.
They had everything, like, if your chute does not open and you land on someone's house,
right,
even though you're
or
dead,
in a tree, or anywhere yes, that you're not supposed to land,
but you're dead, but
we're not liable.
We're not liable, and you can be sued. They can sue your estate for damages if you land on. So that all the different.
So
things
it was watching that video that made me nope, not doing that. And from time to time, you'll say, "Let's go skydiving." Like I'll do the simulated one.
Oh, I won't do that one.
I said I will do the simulated one. You don't want to do that one. Yes, I do.
Anyway,
I will do that, but I'm not. No.
Anyway,
it was the video that made me afraid to go skydiving, because before that I didn't have a fear of that.
Okay. Well, that was something I had a fear of, but I loved it so much that if I had started skydiving younger, like, when I was, 20, 21, I would probably have tried to make that my career. Wow. That's how much I loved it.
Well, yes, I've never seen anyone, because they, you can get the video of your jump, and I've never seen anyone that was smiling so much and had their eyes like wide open the whole time. Most everyone else's videos I've seen, they're screaming, their eyes are closed, but they're excited. But no, your eyes were wide open, and you were just a smiling, like, this is the best feeling ever.
I loved every bit of it. I loved, being on a plane with the doors open as you're flying up. And,
yes.
You start on the ground and it's a nice day, 78 degrees, and the higher your altitude, the colder it gets. So once we got up to jump altitude, it was probably in the 40s, maybe. Yeah, maybe 40, maybe.
So not only
40. I love that part too. And I love standing on the edge
so you're
of
cold
the door
before you jump.
It's cool, yeah. But once you hit, you jump out and you hit terminal velocity,
right?
You're traveling to the earth at 120 miles an hour.
No.
So it gets warmer very quickly.
No.
It's a good thing I did a tandem jump.
Because you would have forgotten to pull it looked like you were going to forget to pull your chute.
Well, it just felt so good. I didn't want it to end. And if I was by myself, I probably would have gone splat.
Well, it's a good thing you aren't by yourself. That is not a good thing to say.
I probably would have gone splat because I enjoyed it that much. I wanted to continue.
So would you go bungee jumping?
Well,
because to me that's funny. A whole other.
It's funny.
To me, that's actually crazier.
It's funny. I never did have a desire to do it, and it is something that I would be afraid to do, and I might do it one day. My major concern of that is not that I would die; it's that I have some back issues, and I'm worried about it.
The
hurting my back. Yeah. So
that's your concern?
That is my biggest concern.
It's not that it might fall off your foot, the cord.
No, my biggest concern is that it may hurt my back. That's my biggest concern with bungee jumping.
Well, I'm not doing that either.
Then here's an easy one. See, I think we've had these discussions on our podcast before. Facing your fears. Okay. Let's get away from the dangerous things.
Can I just say about the bungee cord one?
Yeah.
To me, it's not a fear. It's just, why would I do that? it's not logical to me of why
A,
I would want to do that.
a lot of things aren't logical to people. Why race motorcycles? Why race
Well,
cars?
speed is fun.
Why try to cross the English Channel while, swimming? Why?
All of those things I would do
Why
before I
climb Mount
would do a
Everest
bungee
where you could
cord.
very well die or have frostbite? Why do these things?
Well, for some people, it's the challenge of it, but I don't understand the bungee cord. I
But
don't.
it's also,
Listeners, help me if you've ever gone bungee jumping. Help me understand what led you to it and how you felt doing it.
Oh yeah, another thing I did was like a rock wall, because I knew I never did really want to climb,
Right.
like a vertical height,
like a real rock climbing.
real rock climbing, or the fake indoor ones.
Yes.
So I found the place that had the tallest rock climbing wall in Atlanta,
Mm-hmm.
and I went there.
Cool.
And I climbed a wall.
Cool.
And I came back down.
And see that makes more sense to me.
But I was afraid to do that also. But I did it. It didn't. And unlike skydiving, I did it. I didn't really care for it that much. I wasn't. Yeah, I wasn't in fear doing it.
Right.
And I did it.
But it's not something like, oh, I want to go back and do that.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah. So I haven't done it. Maybe I've done it one more time when I was with some people or something. But but look, I'm talking about all dangerous things. Let's talk about fears also that aren't dangerous, like public speaking. Let's say public speaking in person or doing a reading. And in my case,
remember when I was in Toastmasters, and they always said, people rank public speaking as one of their biggest fears.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why Toastmasters was formed in the first place, to teach people how to do that. But that's not something I've ever feared.
Yeah. Well, and this is interesting. I know.
I mean, I might get nervous when I'm about to, give a speech or something, but it's not a fear.
Yeah. Well, this is interesting. There's more people that have a fear of that is the number one fear. Public speaking.
Yes, I know. That's what I just said.
I never had a fear of public speaking. Not a problem. I never had a fear on getting out on a dance floor and dancing in front of 500-600 people by myself and doing it well. Never had a fear of that. But I did have a fear, and still a little bit, of doing my spoken word.
Yeah, you've even told me that you're afraid to do your spoken word in front of me or show me your poetry.
Yeah, I get
that makes no sense.
Well, I think that the issue is for me is because spoken word or poetry, especially when, like, spoken word, it has to be done a certain way. And
it has a certain rhythm.
It has a certain rhythm and all that. And because I have gone blank before. If you go blank, I mean, you're just lost in front of all of these people. You're just lost.
Yeah, but usually the people who go hear spoken word artists, usually they, they're rooting for you. So if you were to, they'll be like, it's okay, you could do this.
Yeah, I understand, but there's still nervousness in that. But the more I do it, like when I haven't done it in years, then I'm nervous again.
Sure,
but when I start doing it all the time again, nervousness,
the muscles developed.
Yeah, go away. But as far as doing something in the public, that still makes me nervous. And when you're talking about poetry, especially if it's something I've written about, depression, if it's something I wrote about suicide, these things make you nervous because you're actually bearing your soul.
Yeah, you're exposing
yourself to people.
Well, for that reason, I used to get nervous doing a reading of my work in front of other writers, because I thought, oh, you can't fool other writers, into, like, writers can truly judge you if they wanted to, right? But now I think because my subject matter changed of what I write about these days, I don't care what you think. I've said it. I've said it. This is what I think. This is what I'm saying. So take it or leave it. I don't care. So, but I think it's because my subject matter is now my speaking my truth. Like it's nonfiction now as opposed to fiction.
Yeah. Well, that's cool.
So take it or leave it.
Yeah. But if we're talking about conquering our fears, as I've conquered several of my fears, but I'm one now. I say I have fears, not phobias,
right?
Which are a different.
That's true.
The one is more severe than
that's
the other.
True.
But I do believe if you have a fear of something and you don't like that you have this fear, you need to do that thing. You do it. Just do it.
Well, it gets easier after the first time, they say.
Yeah, but just do it. It makes it. This is what I'm going to say. It makes a person a stronger person because there are not these things that hold you back from doing what you want to do. So let's say you had a fear of flying based on nothing.
Right. Because like, you've never been on a plane.
Never been on
and
a
we've
plane.
met people like that.
Yes.
And our advice to her was
take a short flight.
Take a short flight yeah. and not a small plane.
Right. Exactly.
Where you're going to feel everything, and just go somewhere.
Yeah. But so if you have those, and like some phobias, there's different degrees of phobias and, how much it affects a person and all of that. But, even I watched a documentary on phobias, and within that they took a group of people that had all the same phobia, and in this case it was flying. But what they did was give everyone else's support. And it was easier for people to conquer their fears.
Helping somebody else.
When they all were helping each other.
Right.
They're, that bond,
Right. Which is why I think Toastmasters works. Because, I wasn't there because I have a fear of public speaking. I don't. But many people in the room did. And if you know that other person has a fear and they went up there and did it, then I can do it too. I can do it too. So what do you think? I'm trying to think of what my fears are.
You have a fear of zip lining.
No, I don't. I said I would do that, but
this. It can only be 2 feet off the ground.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that. I do care what's underneath me.
It can't go through any trees. It can't. Oh, come on, Jill. Come on.
I do have conditions, but just like flying, just like we gave advice about flying, you have to start me small. But near our house, I told you about the swing that you swung through the woods.
Yes.
It was a really high swing, almost the height of zip lining. So we had an opportunity to not do that, but I did it.
Oh, good for you.
Didn't like it at all, but I did it.
That's good for you. Hey, I
want to go parasailing.
Oh, that's cool, but you don't have a fear of that.
I might.
I don't think so.
Because I started thinking of what could go wrong with that, but I would do it.
I have a fear of being on a podcast. I have a fear of being a podcast host.
What? Now you're making stuff
I'm
up.
scared to death right now.
You're making stuff
My
up.
palms are sweaty.
Oh my goodness. Why are you making stuff
My
up?
heart is pounding.
This was your idea. This whole podcast thing. Your idea.
But yeah, I wonder what type of fears the audience has.
I wonder too. Mine was, in regard to this podcast, mine was revealing too much.
You have a fear of revealing the fear of on our podcast.
Yes.
Revealing
Remember,
too
that's
much.
why I didn't want to do it. So I'm like, I'm a really private person.
Well,
actually.
Well, but you know what? But that, I don't think that was a fear.
Yes, it was.
Well, I don't know. That was a concern. That was a concern.
Well, yeah.
But like for instance, so you were like, okay, well, we can do the podcast, but both of us were like, no video. We're not doing video. We're not doing.
Oh, you're
video.
right. I really don't like video. I don't like video at all. Which is funny that I went into TV, but I was behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes, but soon we're gonna have to be on video. We're gonna have to start doing some video.
I don't want it to. I don't want to. I don't want to.
But I don't think that's a fear of ours. Also, it's just that we just don't want to do
it. Well, let's get to our second segment that we call
Give it a rest and a resolution.
So what do you have, Jill?
My conclusion?
Yeah.
Well, I agree with you that you should face your fears, but I don't think you have to go all in at one time, depending on what it is. I think you can take baby steps toward facing it.
Oh, cool. I also believe that. And again, it is up to you whether you want to do it, whether you want to face your fears or not. I believe you should, but it's still up to you. Just remember, your life could be fuller.
Could it?
Yes.
Well, not if you're dead. If you do something that you die from.
But see, that's the thing. I don't have a fear of death.
Oh, that's what we should have talked about.
I do not have a fear of death.
Now, that's what we should have talked about.
We should have talked about a fear of death.
Yes. That's a real thing for some people. Well, let's get to our third segment that we call
I'm trying to help you.
Advice.
Well, my advice is more of a call to action.
Uh-oh. Well, I know that it's not run this time.
No, it's a call to action. Any of our listeners, any of you, our lovely listeners out there that have a fear of jumping out of a plane, let's all sign up and we'll do it the I'm right jump. I'm right jump.
Are you saying we all go together and do it? What are you saying?
Yes.
How are we going to all go together?
We'll set up a date, and for the people
not all of our listeners are here in Georgia.
They don't have to be here. I would love to jump with our listeners.
That's what it sounds like you're saying.
That's what I want. I want our listeners to jump. So for our Georgia listeners, we can drive out and do a jump. Get in a plane and jump together. The I'm right jump. Please, listeners, if you are afraid, I will jump with you. It's a call to action. Let us know. 404-594-2247.
We're not there yet.
I know, but I'm giving it to them right now. Jump with me.
I'm not doing that.
I said our listeners. I didn't include you in that.
Oh, okay, good. I have it out then. Well, that just threw me. I don't know what advice I have. Face your fears. I guess.
Jump.
That is not my advice.
Jump.
Maybe my advice is run.
Jump.
I don't know. I don't have an advice.
Now. It's a thing now. I put it in the universe. The I'm right jump. The I'm right jump.
That scares me.
Why?
Well, I won't get into it.
You know all the disclaimers that that the jump school has, so you don't have to worry about us.
We should have some disclaimers.
You don't have to worry about us getting sued, Jill. They're gonna sign enough disclaimers that's gonna cover us. Don't worry.
I don't think so. But anyway,
come on,
we're out of time.
My daughter's an attorney. We'll draw up a contract.
594-2247. So we're way out of time.
All right.
You've been listening to I'm Right.
I'm Right.
I'm Jill Cox Cordova.
I'm Anthony Cordova.
Shout out to Gifford Ivan Cordova III for the music, Nick Zinke for the art. Stop saying that. And bye, listeners.
We love you all. Bye.